So at the World Congress of Accountants, CIPFA is in a unique position. We are the only accountancy body in the world that specialises in public financial management at a time when governments around the world, and indeed many organisations, want to move to stronger and better public financial management. So CIPFA is in a unique position, and indeed it's why we're able to play such an important and leading role at World Congress of Accountants to promote our expertise and the things that we're passionate about. I think it's important to stress the risks as well as the opportunities that the accountancy profession can put right. If government books aren't sound, then actually that can undermine world economic performance. Put simply, the world's economy is in a fragile position, and we need governments to have accurate and sound accounts that the public and institutional investors can rely on. We've already seen the sovereign debt crisis, for example, in Greece, was fueled by poor government accounting. And so make no mistake, it's absolutely essential that these things are put right in order to create greater prospects of stability in the world economy. But more importantly, of course, the unique thing that accountants in the public sector can do is to make sure that good decisions are made. Actually, while I'm an accountant and I'm very passionate about making sure that the accounts are good and we've got good process, remember that it's for a public purpose. We want every pound of public money, whether it's in the UK or in Europe or Africa or Asia, to be put to good effect. And actually, what accountants can do is make sure that organisations have proper governance and proper processes with proper options appraisal in order to make sure that we're not just making short-term decisions to fix something today, that public money is being committed in a way that makes a fundamental difference and improves the lives of people around the world for the medium term. And that's a great thing that accountants can do. CIPFA's whole systems approach is an important document, and certainly one that we're promoting here at the World Congress of Accountants, because it pulls together the pieces. In order to have good financial management, there needs to be standards, there needs to be competencies in order to operate to those standards. You need to have sound governance, good decision-making process, proper systems, the role of audit and the role of assurance. And what the whole systems approach does is to show how these pieces of the jigsaw fit together in order to make sure that there is a competent system of public financial management where all the players understand the roles that they have to fulfill in order to make sure that public money is spent properly. I think that accountants in the public sector need to speak out a bit more about tax. The finance profession wants to be listened to, and accountants want to be seen to act in the public interest. Actually, I think the accountancy profession has to realise as a whole that it isn't seen to be acting in the public interest, and that if as a profession we want to be listened to, for example by governments, in order to move to stronger public financial management, actually the profession has to put its house in order on issues such as tax. Put simply, very often the profession can take the view that tax evasion is bad and illegal, and tax avoidance is legal, and therefore what more can the profession do? Well, I don't accept that. Actually, aggressive tax avoidance might be legal, but it isn't ethical. And actually, I believe that in the public sector we should push the profession to think about how, as a regulated profession, if accountants see aggressive tax evasion, albeit legal, if it's at the margins, then as a regulated profession, perhaps we should be reporting that to the tax authorities. And I would like to see the boundaries of the way that the profession thinks about its ethical role. I'd like to see those boundaries shifted, and at the moment, put bluntly, I think the profession isn't acting in an ethical way to the degree that it needs to. And I think that for public sector accountants, who after all spend our careers collecting tax rather than advising people how to avoid it, I think we've got to balance the argument that takes place in the profession and push our colleagues in the private sector to act in a more ethical way.